It's Time Warner Cable's local edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. I'm here with Gary Kovacic. He is the Mayor Pro-Tem of Arcadia. And recently the Los Angeles Times ran an article above the fold, and it was called and focused upon the Chinese Beverly Hills. That's a loaded term and loaded expression. What does that mean, sir?
Well, I don't know what they intended to mean, but the impression that I think they were trying to convey was that a lot of money is coming from mainland China to cities like Arcadia, and homes are being purchased, demolished, and then larger homes are being built in their place. And it arguably is transforming blocks and neighborhoods in towns like ours.
What's interesting about this analogy is I think when you look at Beverly Hills, their experience, especially after the Iranian Revolution, was Persian families coming in, and they would argue they were building these McMansions, and that caused some angst and some tension amongst the current residents and the newer residents. In that instance, though, as I understand it, this was not for sheltering purposes. They were fleeing, and so they were living in those homes. What's happening in Arcadia? Is this an example of people fleeing mainland China to live?
Well, I'm an expert in Arcadia politics.
Right.
I'm not an expert on geopolitics, but my understanding is that there are a number of emerging millionaires from mainland China. They're looking for places to invest. They view the United States as a safe investment, and they view communities like Arcadia as accepting to their types of investment. And so, yeah, they're probably looking for a place to shelter may be the right word.
Right. Yeah, and I'm not saying it pejoratively. I mean, there are different types of investments, but they're not living in the homes.
Well,
often.
Oftentimes, in fact, on my house, there are 2 brand new houses that have never been occupied. So,
meaning near your own home.
On my block.
On your block.
In Arcadia. So, oftentimes, a perfectly good, in my view, ranch-style home, traditional Arcadia ranch-style home, is demolished. A new, larger home is built in its place, very nice looking because it goes through a rigorous design review, but it's larger and it's never occupied.
Now, what are the citizens, the residents of Arcadia saying? Because one could argue, hey, look, this should increase the value of homes in our community generally.
Right, and when you talk to people who don't live in Arcadia and they say, well, what's going on in Arcadia? And we say, well, our property values are going through the roof. They say, well, what's the problem with that?
Exactly.
It changes the nature of a neighborhood, a community. Folks are not as involved because they're not living there.
Right.
And there are a lot of people upset by the size of these new homes.
So under design review, the city or the planning commission, whomever it may be, can weigh in, but can they weigh in on size?
Well, Arcadia has a somewhat hybrid design review process. Above Huntington Drive, we have established homeowners associations over 50 years old, and they have architectural review boards that go through the initial design review. Below Arcadia, we had no design review.
Below Huntington?
Below Huntington, I'm sorry. In South Arcadia, we had no design review until 2006, and we still don't have, except for setbacks and percentage of lot coverage, we don't have size restrictions. And that's been a point of contention on the city council. We have those who believe that we should have a more aggressive restriction on size, adopting a floor area ratio, an FAR, that a lot of cities have, and others feel that private property rights should trump.
So where do you go from here?
We still keep pushing forward. I'm in favor of addressing the size issue, but I don't have
a majority
yet, and we'll see. A lot of citizens in the city are looking at this very closely.
His name is Gary Kovacic. He is the Mayor Pro Tem of Arcadia. My name is Brad Pomerance, and this is Time Warner Cable's local edition.